Yeah, it's a massive game on Sundays. Man United go to Anfield to face the league leaders Liverpool. Ruben Amorim sides at 14th in the Premier League. It's so bad even looking at the league table. 7 points above the drop zone. United have lost their last 4 games in all comps. Liverpool, of course, sits 6 points clear at the top of the table. Former Man United assistant manager Eddie Mullenstein joined the breakfast show this morning. He said whatever Amorim's plan is, it's just not working.
It's interesting to think about how Amorim has really, approached the job from the start, and looking in now after 11 games and see his thoughts now, because he said he wanted to make a kind of an immediate impact in terms of culture, identity, and that everybody could see a kind of a plan, whether you like it or don't like it. But we have to honestly say at this moment in time, there's nothing of that showing at the moment, which is worrying.
Right, I'll have my little rant and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay? I do think that Ruben Amorim is the right man, but, and it's a big but. Other managers have gone to clubs, and we'll take Wolves as a prime example. New managers come in, we've seen that new manager bounce. Mm-hmm. Within 1 or 2 games, they've turned things around and started playing differently. They've got a smile on their faces, they look good. Okay? With Ruben Amorim, he's gone to 3 at the back. We haven't got the personnel for that. And I just wonder whether or not it's a little bit ignorant of any manager to think, well, we haven't got the players, but I'll still play that way anyway. That's one of the reasons why we're not winning. I don't understand why he constantly plays players like Harry Maguire. He's played 4 games. We've only won 1 with Harry Maguire at the back. He's not blessed with pace. And it worries me when I see another team attacking, because United play with a high line. They don't push as much as they should do. And so we get caught more often than not. We saw that against Newcastle. We've seen it every time we've played, actually, under Ruben Amorim. I don't understand why players like Xerxes are being picked to play in a side. This is what his 10th or 11th game, Amorim. And he's picked Xerxes to play up top. And after 34 minutes, he's still, maybe he's not right. And then he's pulled him off before half-time. I can't get my head round why Ruben Amorim, after 34 minutes, has then decided he shouldn't be playing, because I've seen Xerxes from 2 minutes.
They did it right there against Everton when he got the 2.
He's not a footballer.
No, he is a footballer.
He's not.
He is.
He's not. He doesn't look like a footballer.
No, but I think he's just in a position where...
No. Let me have my little rant, right? Okay. He's not United's front line, put it like that. Okay. He just should be nowhere near that starting 11. There's lots and lots of things wrong with that first team, okay? Eriksen, Casemiro should be nowhere near starting. And there are players on the bench in and around that could easily start. I won't go on about we shouldn't have sold Scott McTominay, because we've got bigger problems than why Scott McTominay there, and that had nothing to do with the current manager. But all I'll say is I haven't seen anything yet. Usually when a new manager comes in, you know he's the right man. You go, I see where he's going, I see what he's trying to do, but he hasn't changed anything. We constantly have a pop at Ange Postecoglou for only having plan A. Well, Ruben Amorim so far has only had plan A, and he's playing 3 at the back, right? And he says, if we can't change it, we change it, we're broken down. I get all that. But you've got to have a plan. If it's not working, you've got to have a plan B. And you want me to carry on?
No, I've got
the only other thing I was going to say was, is this weekend, and I'm not joking here, but Man United are playing Liverpool, I think the best team on the planet at the moment, okay? We saw that when they went to Spurs, scored 6 goals against Spurs. Yeah. Who were weakened, by the way. They had, I think, 1 centre-half or 2 centre-halves, and the full-backs around the wrong way, etc. And the goalkeeper wasn't... But Fraser Forster was in goal instead of the normal goalkeeper. But having said that, it was at Spurs. This is at Anfield. Not last time out. Wasn't that long ago we lost 7-0. Right?
Which is...
I don't want to sound all doom.
It's not that bad, because 3-0 is worse.
Okay. Let me ask you 2 questions, right?
I can't say my part.
Is it, you can after I finish my rant, is it inconceivable United could be 5-0 down at half-time on Sunday?
No.
It's possible?
Yeah. Is
it possible Liverpool could score 3 second-half goals?
Yeah.
Right. Man United could lose 8-0 at the weekend.
Doubt it.
No, I doubt it. And it might just be 3-0 or 4-0, right? If Manchester United lose 8-0, or let's say 6-0, because 8-0 is a bit nuts, then where'd you go from there?
You've got to keep, listen, that won't be the worst thing, because 3-0 was worse than 7. But no, where I agree with Ruben Amorim is that him and Ange, where they are in terms of their journey at their clubs, are completely different. So Ange has been there a while now, so he understands what's going on. And he's just saying, I'm not changing. His situation, I go, well, Ange, come on, you've got injuries, you have to change, but he doesn't want to. For Ruben Amorim, he's trying to succeed where other managers have just failed. And I think if he was to he's only been there a few games, if he was to then rip it up and kind of go back to what suits the players, all of a sudden now that power's gone. I think he's got to stick with it, and there's going to be some bumps in the road, and it might get awful. And I mean, where you guys are on the table, it's awful, and it might get worse. But at some point, I think he will get it right. Yes, once he gets a transfer window and it gets the players in that can play that system, I think he'll be better for it. But you can't rip him up and start again. No, I haven't seen anything from Manchester United. And I said this to you a few weeks back. I said, I gave you examples of other managers that have got to clubs and got results, and you can quite clearly see a change. And there was nothing I've seen so far from this Manchester United team that makes me go, oh, okay, this is what they're trying to do. But I feel for him because I think he's a good manager. He talks the part. I think his intentions are to get the club back to some kind of being competitive again. But I think it's going to have to take time, and there are going to be some horrible situations where you are like, oh my goodness, like you're on the brink. I remember with Arteta, that I think it was maybe the second season they finished 8th. I was on the brink going, do you know what? I've had enough. Don't care if he's won the FA Cup. I've had enough. Arsenal can't finish 8th again. And you almost have to go through these problems to then go, okay, I can see what he's trying to do. And this might be the case for Manchester United.
But
I mean, listen, you haven't won the league since 2013. Listen, what's another 10 years? You know what I mean?
It's a long time. That's 20 years.
Well, it's happened to us. So at some point,
but the expectation level, your club and mine is totally different.
Yeah, but why would be? You've not won it for 11 years.
I know, but it just is, right? You can't argue with that fact.
I think Arsenal's ambition is to win the league, and so is yours.
No, I said the expectation levels.
Yes, to Arsenal to win the league, yours.
No, our expectation levels are bigger than Arsenal's.
No, I don't think so. I think yours are the same as ours. We go into the season trying to win the league, so do you.
No, but world football expects Man United to be on the top table all the time.
But that's different.
That's what I'm saying, the expectation of the club.
No, but you're saying in terms of when you start as a new season, we've got to win the league.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about from the beginning. I'm just talking about as a club, Man United should be competing every single season.
Well, at the minute, it's top half competing. And I just think that for Manchester United is not good enough. But I do think you've got to stick with them. It's going to, honestly, there are going to be moments that hurt.
But my question is, right, you remember when we saw the FA Cup final, right, and Eric Ten Hag changed the way United played? I think we touched Bruno's
game.
I know, but for that one game, we changed it and we won it.
Yeah.
Do you not think that Ruben Amorim should be looking at United's defence and thinking 3 at the back against Liverpool will get crucified?
No, because again, Ten Hag been there for a while. He's been there for a while, and that was a one-off game. Like, he couldn't play like that all season because he get beat. But that one particular... I remember, by the way, first half you were good. Second half, Man City just couldn't score.
Right, if we play 3 at the back against Liverpool and one of them's Harry Maguire, and we've got one of either Casemiro or Eriksen in the middle of the park, we'll get smashed to pieces.
Do you know, I'm looking at your back line, though, and I'm starting to think, like, is Maguire the worst? Is that really the biggest problem?
One of them.
Do you know, just a quick... And again, I like your manager. That's the only thing I didn't like, the whole Xerxes situation, because I get it. He was having a stinker. And Man United fans were getting on his case. I get that. You could feel it through the TV, right? The manager in that scenario will know that the fans are not having Xerxes, and they're not... I won't say they're blaming him for what's going on, but they're not happy with his performance, right? The worst thing you could do to lose a player is drag him off in that situation. I get it. He's not playing well enough, but you've got to read the room. If you do that, you're going to get that big, way clear, and that's going to do the players no confidence. So if you want to start playing well again, that's going to take... I don't know how you repair that. Just wait till half time.
But I don't understand why he's picked him, and then after 30 minutes thought, actually he's no good.
But that's my point. Is that just leave it till half time, get him off at half time.
Why has he picked him?
Get up. Only the manager knows that scenario. But leave him on until half time, then get him off. The fact you've almost hang him out to dry, it almost sends a message by saying it's his fault.
Yeah.
Get him off.
Yeah.
Didn't like that.
Brady's a Man United fan. Hi, Brady.
Oh, hi. Yeah, great show as always. Really enjoy your show.
Thanks, man. How are you doing as a United fan?
I just agree with what Benny just said. Listen, I grew up watching like Scholes, Giggs, Beckham, Scholes, all the great players. And for me, like the lad they brought off in 35 minutes, I can't pronounce his name, so I won't attempt it.
Xerxes.
I mean, he's like, I'm 40 and I play vets football. I could do a better job than him, and I'm not being disrespectful, right? So I changed to Manchester United. I remember Man United used to buy big players like Rooney, Van Persie, Tevez.
Yeah.
The moment they went backwards for me is when they bought Schneider, I can't pronounce his name again.
Schneiderlin.
Yeah, they started bringing in players that are over the age of 30. And I was thinking, for me, it was like they're buying players that were finished. Man United used to buy players that would like be unbelievable, and then they might get a big move somewhere else. Where it seems to be, they're buying these players. And the problem with this new manager, he brought him in before the January transfer window, which is fine, but he's inherited about 12, 13 awful, dreadful players from previous managers. So he ain't got a chance. In my opinion, he's not got a chance. And I'll tell you now, if Ipswich pick up their players, start playing like they can play, like the lap up front, and start playing like a team like they are, I could see United falling right back down into that bottom 4, bottom 3. I'm not even exaggerating. I really can.
Yeah, it's a good call, that.
I don't think that's going to happen purely because there are 3 worse teams than Manchester United.
And who's that? Form.
Come on, I don't need to name them. What do you mean, who's that?
Form guide right now, after the last 5 performances, Manchester United are 3rd from bottom.
Right. Southampton are worse than us.
They're gone. That's one place gone.
Let's take another call. You know, I looked at the league table and I thought, I wouldn't fancy us against them or them. Mark's up next. Hello, Mark.
Hey there, boys.
How are you, Mark?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Okay.
I just the old Amorim thing. I agree with you. I think he's the man to take United forward. But it's just the whole poison chalice thing again, isn't it? It's just, you know, I think Ineos have a lot to answer for. They approached him in the summer. They decided not to go with him because the squad didn't fit his style of play. Fair enough. But then they end up going with him anyway and give him an ultimatum of it's now or never.
Yeah.
And then put the guy in this position. I just think he's got a squad there. Not only does it not fit his style of play that he's been incredibly successful using with his team of people, but you've got, it's almost like the dressing room's cursed. So Ten Hag takes over and he gets a bit of a bounce from the players, the squad that he has at that time, and then inevitably they end up not performing for him, and then he spends 600 odd million over 2 seasons and they end up not performing for him. He gets sacked, and now the same thing's happening with Amorim. I don't know what people expect. I think we're going to get dragged seriously close to the relegation zone. I'm not sure we'll go down. However, I'm hoping that situation will give this club a wake-up call that it needs to give its head a wobble and get out of this cycle that they're in.
Mark, can I ask you a question, Mark? And I agree with you about Ruben Amorim. I think he's the man to take United forward. But let's just say things get worse. Let's say Man United lose 8-0 against Liverpool at the weekend. Is he unsackable?
I think I agree with Benty. I don't think he's been there 2 minutes, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what do we expect playing Liverpool? I expect us to get battered. I expected us to get battered by City, even though they're poor at the moment. But you know, some miracle happened and we won the game due to Ahmad. So I think this kind of push for him to change the system is just not feasible, because I guarantee you this: if he changes that system, those players will do the same thing. They won't perform.
Yeah.
And it's almost like there's a curse within the club that they are good players, a lot of them, but are they good enough to compete at the top level? I think over the past decade, we have recruited players and we have lowered our standards to become a mid-table team at best. I think that's...
Do you know what it is? It is almost like when the top player becomes available, Man United are not in the market for any of them.
No, of course we're not now.
Let me ask a question for you. If it's not going to happen, but if Manchester United were to get relegated...
No, shut up.
No, quick question.
No, you would never even dream of
What's a bigger story? Leicester winning the league or Man United relegation?
United.
It would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even talk about Manchester
What do
United
you think?
relegation.
I know. What do you think the score will be? Genuinely, Sunday.
I don't think you'll get smashed like you think you'll get beat. I think you'll get beat. I've got no doubts about that. Probably 3 or 4, but it won't be like 6-7.
I think we'll get smashed.
No, Harry Maguire. You're a bit harsh on him. He's better. He's been better than De Ligt and Martinez.
I think he has, mate.
De Ligt has been awful since he got there.
4 games and we've lost 3 of them.
You know, I could go through every one of your goals conceded, and I reckon De Ligt's probably at fault for.
No, he's not, mate.
Mate, his body position. He's got a problem with his neck. Can't see what's behind him.
There'll be a problem with your neck in a minute.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.